This is a Beretta Stampede model replica of a Colt single action army, 45 Long Colt caliber. Gorgeous weapon. Hello everyone and welcome back. Today we're going to cover one of the most popular revolver calibers of all time, the 45 Long Colt. In case you're curious, it got its name the Long Colt almost by accident. Colt never really sort of released it that way when they developed the cartridge between 1871 and 1873. By 1873, you could tell how popular it was going to be, and there were some other 45 caliber rounds on the market, like the Schofield. You'll notice that the 45 Long Colt here is actually longer than the other 45 caliber rounds available. Hence it was called the Long Colt. Another reason why they sort of went to that designation so that other shooters of 45 caliber guns would know Long Colt ammunition will not work in your firearm. The case is too long and the cylinder won't rotate. As we've covered before, sort of like the 357-38 sort of concept. It's amazing to me how we lengthen the case and we shorten the case. We lengthen the case and we shorten the case. But in this case, no pun intended, I think that Colt got it right. The 45 Long Colt was originally designed to shoot a 250 grain bullet using 40 grains of black powder. That was a monumental leap forward in power at the time. The problem was when the Army took that recipe and they tried to distribute the round and use it, most of their soldiers decided that it actually had too much recoil and they didn't shoot it very well. So first thing they did was take some of the powder down and go to 35 grains. Ultimately, the round was most popular in military service at 30 grains, which does kind of make it a little bit more on the anemic side. When it's running full power, you can expect to get at least 450 foot-pounds of energy out of the cartridge, and depending on how you tweak it with modern-day powders, up to 700. That's certainly nothing to sneeze at, and for the time, compared to 38 short and even 38 long, that's an incredible power increase, which is one of the reasons why it was very popular in the American West. You can kill horses with it, perhaps some medium-sized dangerous game, which you would never have a chance to do using some other pistol rounds. Oddly enough, the 45 Long Colt in the 1870s was never seen in a lever action rifle. There's a lot of people that kind of go back and forth on why that was. Some would say it was because that Colt didn't really want other people and manufacturers using their design, which was a thing. They were quite proprietary back then. And some people to this day claim it's because the round lends itself to unreliability due to a condition called blow-by, where a lot of the gases escape. And if you get on some of the chat rooms, there's very few people that would sing the praises of 45 Long Colt in a lever action rifle. Some of them can get it to work fairly well, but the general consensus is it doesn't work as well as other calibers, which is kind of too bad. However, modern day, there's a ton of replica lever action rifles that you can get in 45 Long Colt. Now the advantage to that would be you can use the same pistol and rifle ammunition without having to worry about mixing up or carry two different types, which is a video for another day and another caliber. 45 Long Colt has continued to be enjoyed by single action shooting enthusiasts all over the country, and it is gaining more and more popularity as a hunting round because of its lethality. It definitely has enough power to neutralize humans in sort of a self-defense situation, and hollow point ammunition is becoming quite popular for the round. So for people that are still into wheel guns, go for it. It's a very, very respectable round in that case. The 45 Long Colt was only in military service for shade more than 20 years. By the early 1890s, it was actually replaced by the 38 Long Colt. I believe that date was in 1892. And that perhaps was also a mistake, because when that round went to the Philippines in the Spanish-American War, it was the one very much vilified by our service people for not having enough stopping power against those Moros that we've talked about before. In fact, that 38 long was going so poorly that the Army actually allowed its officers to be reissued or use their own 45 Long Colts for the added stopping power. Just like in modern day, we go from the argument from too much power, not enough power, too much recoil, on and on and on. When I was doing the research for this video, I was kind of astounded by the fact how that the circle never seems to be broken. We go from too much recoil to not enough power, and back and forth and back and forth and back and forth. So I guess it is actually true that if you don't pay any attention to it, history is actually doomed to repeat itself for all time.